And welcome to another episode of Strangers in the Alps, a slasher podcast, where every week we do a deep dive into horror movies, thrillers, and slashers in a mostly intelligent, but also somewhat rambling way. My name is Dan.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. My name is...
I'm Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Wow, that's deep.
Hey, Frank.
It's me.
Well, is that what the D-Day stands for in this movie?
And what's your name?
Well, my birth name...
This is
my name
Travis.
is Travis.
I like how he's like, what's your name? And then he just answers.
And that's Travis.
Travis.
So, what movie did we watch this week?
Overlord.
Overlord.
And under the hill.
Overlord.
And under the hill.
I knew the answer. I was just...
How do you say that in Thai?
What?
How do you say Overlord in Thai?
There
You
is
asked
no
me
word.
I don't know.
So that's two separate words that you're going to have to put together.
I don't even know Lord.
Just
Here,
Lord.
let me get you the back of the VHS tape.
You're
Is that
editing
from-
this episode.
Is this from Hollywood Video?
And
They're so
there it
crinkly.
is, right there. There it is.
What kind of video is that?
It's heavy. I
What?
don't know.
That was,
Titanic.
What's it say on the
Did
back
you know,
of the VHS tape?
Did you know the pool is still full in the Titanic?
Can you just read the back of the VHS tape?
He gets it.
Did they even have a pool?
Do you know there was a pool? I don't think there,
There
was
is.
a pool.
There was a pool, but it's still full too. I just got it. Yeah.
Don't make me look this up, because I don't think there was a pool.
Do you get it?
Yes, I get it. It's underwater, so it's full.
Yeah, they also serve seafood.
Wow, you're
Can
on a
you
roll,
just,
man.
please?
You are
Finally.
Here's the box. Okay.
2 seasons in.
What does it say about the movie we saw, which we haven't? Oh yeah, Overlord.
A small group of American soldiers who play baseball, because all Americans play baseball, find horror behind enemy lines on
Okay,
the
read
eve
the
of
actual
D-Day.
real thing.
A small group of American soldiers find horror behind enemy lines on the eve of D-Day.
That's very brief.
Yeah, it's the back of a tape. It doesn't tell you the whole movie. It's not a modern movie trailer.
So, Overlord, pre-thoughts.
I'll start.
Go for it.
I did not want to see this movie
Wow, why?
because do you remember the trailer?
It played everywhere.
The trailer played everywhere, and it made it seem like a very generic, like
B movie.
not even like a B movie term. It just made it seem like it was almost like Call of Duty, like Zombies, the movie. It was just like, oh yeah, it just seemed like it would be just super stylized, almost like House of the Dead or
Yeah.
something. I thought it was going to be like that. It made it look super generic. It made it seem like there was no depth, no story. Like we didn't even understand. Like the movie made it just seem like it was about a group of soldiers that randomly just find like the lab, open it up, and are just being attacked by zombies the whole time.
But literally, though, that's what it is.
But I mean, there's more to it, though.
Oh,
you know,
uh-huh.
like it didn't. It just and I agree with Sam. The trailer played. It felt like for a year or like 6 months. I wasn't super excited to see it. I also remember it once when this movie was coming out and it had J.J. Abrams' name. Everyone was saying it was a hidden prequel to Cloverfield.
I remember I sent you that text.
Yes, everyone. So I was already kind of like, okay, Cloverfield, World War II, and then
Did you see it in the theater?
yes, because then the movie it was coming out and it was getting really, really good reviews. So I was like, you know what? If I see this movie, even if I don't like it, since it's like a war movie fighting, it's its best scene in the theater. So I was like, let me just see it in the theater. So I saw it in theaters, and I loved it.
What did you just...
I saw it in theaters.
Is that your final thoughts?
No.
Because
So
you
he's
just
done-
said
No,
you
I'm saying
loved
I
it.
love the
He's
experience
done
because
he's done for the rest
I'm
of the
saying-
episode.
can't-
He can't
you
talk.
can't
He
do your
can't
final
talk.
I
thoughts
said I
now.
love the experience.
He can't
No, you
talk.
didn't. You said you loved it.
can't
Okay,
talk.
Sam?
Okay, it was better than I thought it would be. That's all I'm going to say.
I didn't care for it because the trailers played all the time, so I was
I
over
see.
it. But I also don't like war movies,
Okay,
so I was already not into it. That was my initial thought.
perfect.
Cool.
Frank.
That's fair. And Frank?
Frankenfurter.
I remember being excited for it when it first got announced because I thought the idea. I always like when they do like World War II alternate history, science stuff. It fascinates me. And then there was, I remember that brief period where a lot of people thought it was going to be a tie-in to Cloverfield. I remember exactly where I was when I sent you that text. Was the parking lot of the Topanga Mall.
Okay.
Is it the parking lot that
Yeah,
doesn't
I don't know
exist
why
anymore?
I remember exactly then, but I was getting out of my car and I heard about the movie and I was like, Travis, check this out. And I sent him a link.
Yeah.
And I was very excited then. And then, like you guys, when the trailers came out, I was like, I guess. And then I want to go see it anyway.
Was it a packed house for both of you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw it at I saw it at Century City in Dolby. Because it was the only, like, I don't think, for whatever reason, I don't think Burbank had it in Dolby. It was just Century City. So I was like, okay, let me go there, check it out.
Burbank had it in IMAX, and I remember because that's where I saw it. And that opening scene pummeled the shit out of everybody.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you could feel the bass pushing you into your seat.
When the announcer was talking?
No, the when the planes...
The opening
yeah.
sequence with the
It was
Mm.
very strong. The sound in that scene, it was really good. But I mean
Damn.
I haven't had a movie give me that like
Sunken
much
feeling?
power in the audio, and since then actually.
It's funny because I didn't see any trailers for this movie for whatever reason. I was not even really familiar with this movie when it came out, but a friend of ours, Travis, that we worked with, he said, "Have you heard about Overlord?" And I said, "I've only heard of it. I don't know anything about it." And he said, "Oh, it's like World War II, Nazis and zombies." And I'm like, "I'm in. That sounds great." He goes, "Oh yeah, it's really, really good." So I didn't see it when it first opened. I actually saw it towards the end of its run, which, by the way, was probably the week after it opened. It didn't run long. It didn't
blame
make
the
money
marketing
at
on
all.
that one.
It barely made any money. It actually, I'm sure it lost a bunch of money. But I saw it in the afternoon at a theater. It was at Dolby, but I think it was
Winnetka?
maybe me and 5-6 other people. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So anyway, I was very excited to see it when I heard what it was about, because I love World War II movies. I'm a sucker for that. And I know Overlord, which you may or may not know, that was the code name for D-Day.
Yeah.
So I knew that was, okay, that's cool. The fact that it had zombie tie-ins was intriguing to me. So I was very excited to see it. And I won't tell you what I thought about it.
I just
until
said it
the
was a
end.
lot better than I thought it
That's
would be.
exactly not what you said, but okay.
Do we need to probably do a little bit of an overview for context?
I
Just
will. I'm
something
gonna-
brief that's not too detailed. I mean, it's not a super
Travis,
detailed
I'm gonna
plot.
try.
Travis is perfect for
No,
this.
I can do it. I
not
can
do
sum
it.
it up quick.
It's not a really detailed plot. I think you can kind of ride through it pretty quick.
I
Yeah,
need
no.
you,
So
I need
upon
you to,
rewatch, it was-
I need you to say all the dialogue.
No.
Word
so
for word.
The
Scene by
film,
scene, by the way.
the film opens up with paratroopers, and they're flying in. So you find out their mission is it's the night before D-Day, and they have to go in and take out radio towers, because if those radio towers are still up when D-Day happens, the planes aren't going to make it. So it's about now just a group of paratroopers. They crash land into a village, and they
Where
have
their
to.
plane gets shot
Their
down.
plane gets shot down, and they have to go to a radio tower at a small village and destroy it. They got 6 hours before D-Day.
Right.
Wow. Let's all take
Sounds
a
about
moment. It took him 1 minute to say
And
that.
along the way,
They uncover a
a
couple
lot
things.
of stuff happens.
Because they all
I
got
mean-
split up.
It's interesting because I'm, like I said right just now, I love World War II movies, and this one really sort of captures all the classic sort of World War II sort of, I guess, tropes or whatever. You have the French girl in the farmhouse. You have the
Well, even
the group that's shot out of the sky now from a full platoon. Now we're down to like 4 or 5 guys. They're behind enemy lines. They have
Sergeant
they have
gets taken out right away.
Right, they have to finish their mission. It's all very classic World War II stuff.
The tension with the one of the other, people in the group that doesn't like the main character and is like, "You'll never be a soldier, buddy."
He has
Right,
to,
it's
he has
very
to prove
classic
himself.
stuff.
He has to prove himself.
Right,
Like, oh,
right.
you can't even kill a mouse.
Right, exactly.
Let me go into this
Yeah.
monologue about how he couldn't kill a mouse. without making it look like it's a monologue.
Yeah,
Right.
But I even liked even in the beginning how it kind of seems like those newsreels that play over when
Oh,
you have like
yes,
the
for
logo,
sure.
and then it has the cool thing too where the planes like fly over, and you have the really cool title card. The
Yes.
horse
Oh, yeah,
that
that
says
was so cool.
Overlord.
The title card was great.
And I will say this is probably one of the only movies where in the beginning when they were in the planes and I couldn't understand anything they were saying, I was like, I dig this. I
Yeah.
like that I don't know what anyone. You can hear a little bit, but I was like, it just added to that realism because you don't ever get that. Like anytime you watch a movie where it's like paratroopers going down or like jumping down or someone jumping out of a helicopter, it's always the sound stops and it slows down right as they're jumping, and everything leading up until then, it's like, oh, I can hear everyone perfectly and have like a perfect conversation. So I thought it was cool, and it added to the chaos of it, and I think it added a lot to like the opening, like the tension, because it's like, you know, I can easily just show a bunch of planes being blown up, but if you're showing these people in this one plane and the plane's blowing up around them and you can't hear, I thought it was a very cool way to like, you know, not overdo it.
Yeah.
It was a very, you know,
Well, it was
showing,
also,
not telling.
It was also cool when their plane got hit and everybody's jumping out. There's a lot of chaos as you have the paratroopers going down, and you're just like bullets and not bullets, but missiles and stuff flying by, and
Even
explosions happening everywhere.
You even have the Final Destination. The guy goes flying out of the back of the
Yes.
plane.
Yes.
It was pretty good. Very chaotic, but also not too loud.
And you even have like the classic. I was thinking tropes too. The one guy that's like telling the stories. Oh, I'm here, just let me take photos of everyone.
Yes.
Then the one guy that's writing a book.
Yes.
And then he gets blown up.
No, he just disappeared. Where'd he go? He's gone now.
Also, I think it's interesting in World War II movies how the weapons they carry define who you are, because the coolest guy
That's
always
very-
has a Tommy gun.
And you know
Which
what?
gun is that?
The Tommy gun is the
gun that
machine
Tommy
gun.
has.
Gotcha.
The rest of them have like M1s, but the cool guy, which is Wyatt, Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son, who plays one of the leads.
Oh no, wait! I just thought it was a de-aged Kurt Russell.
You're kidding, right?
I'm joking.
Yeah. Okay. So he has the Tommy gun because the cool guy always
The Tommy
It's like in
gun.
Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks has the Tommy gun.
You either have one of those two. He either has the Tommy gun, or he has like the really cool. He just walks around with a handgun, like Patton.
Yes.
It's one of those two.
Right. Exactly.
But if you don't have the cool, like this one, he didn't have the cool handgun. You have the cool lighter.
That's right.
But that's very good. I always think about that. Like the weapons define the characters.
Absolutely.
It's shorthand. It's very effective shorthand.
What do you
Okay.
think, Sam?
Keep going.
Let me go through some.
So I mean, we basically drop. They end up in a blown up plane. What, 4 or 5 of them survive?
Yeah.
Well, 4 actually survive that we know of at that point.
The sergeant dies right away.
Right away, gets shot down by Nazis. They
And any of
end
you
up,
Krauts have a cigarette.
yeah, they end up sort of lurching and like going through the backwoods. They come upon a small village. They meet this French girl. They end up at her house. I'm sort of jumping through this really
Yeah.
quick.
You're naming all the main.
But I mean, the main thing is they get to this village where the Nazis are. They're basing the village where the church is, where they need to do this mission. Mm-hmm. They hide out in her farmhouse, or not farmhouse, in her house in the village, and there we meet her son. And something very creepy going on upstairs with her aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And that takes
She's totally normal.
quite a while for us to find out what that is.
Dan, she's sick. Just leave her alone.
That
yeah.
setup is.
yeah, I know.
is-
And you hear the coughing.
yeah, you know it's gonna come up later, and I like that they when they can, they do lean on those horror tropes. like that.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, because like you have the shot where it's like it's in the hallway, the camera's in the hallway, and you see the door cracked open and the light, and you hear her coughing, and you're like, there's like a monster in there. It's almost like there's one of like 2 things in that room. It's either Zelda from Pet Cemetery, or it's the guy from the Goonies.
Yeah, I know.
What's his name?
I can't think of his name. The Goonies
Goonie
guy.
Man.
No, his name's
No,
like Fred.
No. What's
Hank?
it? No, what's it?
He has a random name. I know who you're talking
Sloth.
about. Sloth.
Yeah, it's
Bob.
Sloth from the Goonies with the Superman shirt.
Robert.
That's who. Hank.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Roy.
It's Chuck.
So
Chunk.
we're
She
in
was
this.
blowing chunks.
We're in this house. They send two of the guys out to do a little. What do you call that?
Convoy.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
No, they
Recon.
No,
the recon.
Little
Recon.
recon.
Can we mention though, just before they get to the
Of
house,
course.
that nosy fucking neighbor?
Oh, I know. They kill her, right? That's
They don't. I thought they
that
did-
was
I
her.
thought they did,
I
yeah,
thought that was
but-
her.
You're in an occupied village. She's out past her.
And then she starts like
Oh, no,
blowing
no,
like
Kill you,
she's
man.
like she starts setting off her alarm.
Puts a spotlight on her.
Hello,
She's right
intruder.
there.
No, she has from Metal Gear Solid.
Second week that he brings that up.
I did. Oh, you know me. I don't have new jokes.
You don't.
Okay.
So they go into the house,
Yes.
and
Creepy kids.
shortly, so they send two of the guys out to do a little recon. While those guys are gone, the Nazis show up to the house, and
Nazis.
those darn Nazis. And then our hero guy and the sergeant, or I guess not
Yeah,
sergeant.
no, it's Private Boyce, and then Sergeant. No, not Sergeant. Corporal
Ford?
Yeah, Corporal Ford. The most American name.
Now, which
Ford.
one was that? Wyatt?
Wyatt was
Yeah.
Wyatt was Ford.
And who is the other actor who played the lead? I don't know him from
He
anything
was
else.
in well, I don't think you saw it. He was in the movie Babylon, I think.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
No one
It's
did.
Jovan Depot.
Yeah, he was really good. So they go hide up in the attic, and we very quickly find out that this Nazi colonel, or whatever he is, I guess, assuming he's a colonel of some kind.
Can you pronounce his name?
No, I
No.
couldn't
His last
pronounce
name's
his-
Waffner, but
Oh.
can you pronounce that
I
first
couldn't
name?
pronounce the rest of that name to save my life.
Missy?
Hausenpfaffenpfaff.
Where the hell is it?
Hausenpfaffenpfaff.
You just have to look.
I just had Steen.
It's like, why did they give him that name? Yeah, but why did they give him that name?
Sturmfuhrer?
Why wasn't Franz or just, Friedrich?
Let's just call him
Gruber.
Waffner.
Fred.
Or just Freddy? Freddie Werner.
Shit.
No, we're good. No one knows.
I know.
So then the bad guy forced himself on
Tries to force
Tries
himself
to.
on Chloe.
Chloe, but it's known that it's a thing that he does.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a little
And he-
arrangement.
Yeah.
He
I-
threatens to take her little brother off to be experimented on.
Well, you don't know. Just taken away.
No, they infer something
They-
more
They
than
just say
that.
people are taking.
fix.
Well, they just say face because that's what they. Because we find out with the aunt, she's like, "Oh yeah, like
He's like, you don't want your brother to be sick like your
yeah,
aunt, right?
Yeah, because that's her whole thing. She's like, I don't know. Like they took her away, and when they brought her back, she's like sick now. They don't know what it is.
She's fine.
God,
Release me.
that's in my ear.
What's in your ear?
So
That.
there's this whole sequence where he's threatening her and she's like, okay, whatever. And then you think they're about to do something naughty, and then all of a sudden our
Private
hero
Boyce.
guy shows up behind with the gun, and they pop him with the butt of the gun, drag him up to the attic, and Wyatt
Beating.
starts beating the crap out of him to try to get information about what's going on.
And
What-
he doesn't give it up.
What annoys me is the Boyce, right? That's his name.
Yeah, boys.
He's too much of like a goody two shoe because he's like, you can't beat him. You're hurting him. It's like, well, if you want information, my guy, beat him. And then he goes off like, oh, I was drafted in this war because I didn't want to, and now I'm here. It's like, well,
Can I just
Do you
be
want-
honest?
I have to
Shit
tell
sucks.
you.
Do you also
As a lead, I don't really care for Boyce very
Same.
much.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think that if there is not a weakness, but something you could sort of, why is like the Wyatt, I don't know his
Ford.
name.
Ford?
Yeah, Ford is a way more interesting character.
Yes.
I mean, and he's way more the gritty World War II kind of guy that we're used to versus his Boyd, which is like this
Right.
guy. You're not that's not a World War II movie lead guy.
Yeah, if
No.
they flipped it, I think that would have been better.
And it's not even the goody two shoes aspect, because I thought that the lead in 1917 was fairly interesting to watch,
haven't
and
seen that one.
he was not anything special in terms of
right.
his morality or anything, but it was just fascinating to watch him.
Yeah.
I go with that, Frank.
Right.
Even like Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
Hacksaw Ridge?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the
You
reason.
didn't, I haven't seen it, if you were wondering.
Oh no. Well, I know you haven't because you said you
Have
don't
you
like.
seen it,
Have
Sam?
you seen
I
it?
knew you didn't.
Sam?
No,
I haven't.
because I
Thank
thought. You said you don't like World War II, so I was gonna assume. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
just assume.
So the thing with
Assume.
I think with Boyce, the reason they tried to do it, but I said I think Wyatt should have been more of the lead was to kind of be like, you had, I think, one too many scenes, like I said, it was being goody two shoes, where Boyce is like, oh, we got to save, in the beginning when the sergeant's about to be killed, it's like, oh, we got to save him. Wyatt's
Yeah.
like, he's already dead. He was dead before he landed. So I think it's trying to show, like, Boyce has
He's
the
new to
conscious.
this,
Yeah,
yeah.
Boyce has the conscious, but, like, Wyatt
Naive.
is, like, super seasoned already. Like, no,
But
like,
it's too,
people die.
It's too a fault, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, there was too many, because,
Yeah.
like I said, goody two shoes, it's like, it's like,
But think about it. I mean, even the writers, I think, understood this issue, because if you think about, and I don't want to jump towards the end, but even in the climax of the movie, who gets the great climax? Ford does.
Ford, yeah.
yeah.
And he gets the great line. I mean, so they clearly, even the writers and directors knew what was the more interesting, not necessarily storyline, but character for
Yeah.
sure. And they gave that the way, because not what's his name, Boyce. Yeah, he doesn't have any climactic moment in the story.
No, yeah.
He's
But-
like
It's
the
just
viewpoint
Ford.
character without the interest.
and
He's the audience. He's the new guy.
Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
he's more the what is like in
Tour
the
guide.
Great Gatsby. He's
Yeah.
more the
Jay, not
Yeah.
Jay.
But
Toby Maguire's character.
right.
Yeah.
He's more that guy.
I think the problem is they give him a little too much agency, but he doesn't have anything of interest
Yeah.
to add to that perspective. So it's
Right.
like you're the audience stand-in, but you're also imposing your own, personality. It's just not that interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if you're going to be an audience, surrogate, be as plain and as simple and as passive as possible, so that we don't, project, so that we can project onto you
Bias,
instead
yeah.
of being like, you're a little green.
Yeah.
even at the end, like I said, I agree. I feel like nothing happens with him because at the end, it's just like, yeah, I'm just here to do my job. Let's move on to the next thing. It's like, well, in the beginning, you said we can't leave. We got to do the mission. So by saying at the end, I'm here to do the mission, it's like your character doesn't really do anything. You're just there at the end saying, I'm here to go to the next mission.
He comes with a mission accomplished. sign
Yeah,
at the end.
exactly. It's like the end of the level now. It's like cutscene. Okay, you're playing a video game. You're going.
How did Boyce get out and and went to church? What happened?
So what happened was
He went to the sewer. He Shawshanked.
Right, but
no,
why?
no, no,
How,
no, no. She's about getting to the church. Remember, he got into the truck with all the dead bodies.
Because the dogs were chasing him.
Yeah, he was being chased, so he jumped in the back of the truck. And when he got in the truck, it was a bunch of pile of dead bodies.
But he was
So
on his way to church, right?
No, he was okay, so basically well, let me make sure I say his name right. Remember Wyatt, so it's after the German one, they capture him.
Yes.
They send out Tibet and the other guy, they send him out
Tibet
to do,
and Chase.
Yeah, Tibet and Chase, they send him out to do the rendezvous. And then they've
Recon.
been gone. The recon,
Oh,
sorry.
they
so,
never came
so
back.
they've been gone for a while. So remember, Boyce is like, no. So Ford tells Boyce go try to
Find
find
them?
him
Gotcha.
because remember Boyce was very against like,
Yeah.
oh, don't hit him, and it's like just get out of here, just go,
Send him away.
Send him away. So
Can you imagine, like, hiding underneath bodies?
Yes.
Well, you got. If it's a means to live,
No, dead bodies, Frank.
Also, yes.
bodies.
How many of them have to be dead?
Well,
Can I get a half dead?
Can I get a half dead?
it's. I mean, if it's a means to survive, I'll do it. You got to do what you got to do.
All right.
I mean,
I'll-
am I freely going to go
It's-
to a cemetery now and go in some bodies? No.
It's that horror trope of I have to play dead, or I have to smear blood on myself. And
So he gets thrown into the truck. He gets in the truck, hides in the bodies.
But before that,
goes into the. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, before that, remember he goes and he sees.
They're
some of the
disposing
church,
of
and
the
they're disposing of the bodies
yeah.
with flamethrowers.
Right.
So then he
right.
tries to get away from that. So he knows, okay, there's something going on in this like church lab now.
It's a Scientology church.
There's
Mad scientist
I'm sorry,
is
it's called
actually
the Church of Scientology.
there's something going on in this. I'm just gonna call it a creature factory. There's something going on in this creature factory.
That's
Now,
actually a good name for it.
Here's my question. When you saw the movie, you already knew there was a zombie aspect to the film.
Because of the trailer, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew because somebody told me. Honestly, I wish I hadn't known any of that.
But
I wish I would have just gone to the movie and not known what it was about, outside of like World War II.
But then would you have liked it? Because if you go in
I
thinking
think I
it's
well, he
just
just
likes
a,
World War
But
II
I
movies
love
in
World
general.
War
That's what I'm
II
saying,
movies, so I would
right.
have been into that. I would
but
have
then
gone,
you're,
whoa, what's
you're
going
not
on here?
really into horror, so how
But
would it affect you?
I think I would have gone, whoa. Versus
left
this
field?
movie, I kept waiting for the zombie thing to happen because I already knew it was there.
Right.
I just feel like, and we can discuss this further as we sort of
yeah.
do our final thoughts, but I'm not sure I mean, I don't know how you get around that. So my question is kind of, I don't know there's really an answer, but
I'll agree with you. I mean, it's but this completely leans in on the you having never the chance that you never see the trailer in the first place. Because I remember a movie that it happened to me with was, I think I was like 9 years old, and it was one of those like Stars or HBO free weekends. So I like turn on the TV and it's like, up next, George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino in this movie were the robbers. I'm like, oh, that's cool. My dad are like, this sounds cool. Let's watch it. So we're watching this movie. It's called From Dusk Till Dawn. And it's George Clooney now and Quentin Tarantino. It's like, okay, they're robbing banks, and then I'm like, okay, now they're going to a strip club. Okay, they're
As one
there,
does.
and then all of a sudden, vampires.
Salma
Salma Hayek comes out. I'm like, holy shit!
and what did you think?
And then she became a vampire.
But then what did you think?
I knew he was going to go there.
But did you like that? Did you
Oh,
think
I loved it.
See,
That
that's
was the
what
thing.
I'm saying. I
But-
think it would have been cool to not know.
But he likes these movies.
and here's
you don't really care for them. So I just wanted to know if you didn't know, would you be like, oh, I don't like that?
I think
No, I
his
think-
not caring for them is more based off of just his inexperience with them
because I think it
than
would.
it is like the genre itself.
think-
Yeah, I think that's true.
No, but-
that's fair.
I think a reason why someone might not like this is if they
Because they're gay.
No, those are your words. If they market it a certain way and they switch
I
it
did
up,
not say
if they
that.
market it a certain way and tell you, hey, this is what the movie is, and then suddenly, all throughout promising, like in trailers and everything, like it'd be, like you saying, hey, this movie is all about this, and it switches, versus you watching the movie and it just happens to happen in the movie because you don't know what to expect. Does that make sense?
But yeah,
I think the failure with the marketing, though, is that they could have just hinted at something,
Like,
at a
what is it?
surprise, what's in the church, blah, blah, blah.
Versus
What's
like
in the
showing
church?
it.
Yeah, exactly. Because they straight up show you zombies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, no, it'd be like, okay, like let's say it was like From Dusk Till Dawn. No, like let's say, and I was like, oh, it's a robber movie the whole time. There's nothing scary about it. That's not a horror movie. And then suddenly it just being the movie that they didn't promise. I think that's different than having a genre switch in the middle.
Yeah. And I mean, horror and action are kind of adjacent, so it's
Yeah.
easier to switch between the two.
And World War II, I mean, we already knew, like, hey, it's World War II. There was experimentation going on
That's
with
true.
Nazis. So
With
it's,
Dr. Mengele.
Yeah,
but I think Frank tipped into something. I think if it had been more like the trailer had been a World War II movie, but there's something strange going on in that church.
In the neighborhood.
Then you go, okay, this is interesting, versus like just telling you flat out what it is.
Exactly, because the trailer, I mean, I'll maybe watch it again just so I can go.
Travis, my God, why are we fucking stuck on this?
Okay.
Keep going.
No, I'm done.
You already talked. Just go.
I'll take 10 minutes off so we can go.
Great.
So we are at the church now. He gets out from the dead bodies. He sees the flamethrowers of the bodies that they're burning up. He starts traveling down in the underbelly of this church,
Gross.
discovering a laboratory, and suddenly comes upon like some really weird, like there's like a head that's connected to
Spine,
some
nerves.
contraption thing.
Dan,
So I never really got what that was.
if you ever one day like open up, like you get lost somewhere and you like find a building, you open it and you see like experimentation going on. If you see me on one of the experiments, just kill me. Like right there. I don't want to live.
I thought you were going to say, would you turn around and leave? I
No.
would turn around and run my ass off.
No, but kill me first, and then.
Oh, yeah, I'll kill you
Like
first,
if
don't
it
worry.
looks like if I'm like I don't know, like
So he sees all this experimentation going on. He also sees the doctor come in and whatever. Then he sees the syringes.
with
He-
what in it, like a
I'm
serum,
not sure. Some kind of
Serum.
bluish,
Serum.
reddish serum thing.
T-virus.
He pockets it. He finds one of their
Pierce.
And one of their
Spears.
in their platoon.
and he unleashes him and takes him back with
Ooh,
him.
that
Would
one
you?
scene, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like part of me, I was just.
That's where he goes to
'Cause
the
it-
catacombs,
yeah,
right?
no,
Where he like pulls
yeah,
the.
'cause
No,
it
but he
has-
has that thing stuck.
Yeah,
it was
it's like,
sewn in.
Yeah, it's sewn in. I don't know. What
It's like a tube.
I don't know why they
still.
insist.
Oh, that.
I'm
The thing that he
surprised
pulled
he
out
just
of
walked
him.
away and was like, "I'm fine."
Yeah.
Hey,
'Cause
everyone,
it was
I'm
like
good.
he got sewn, but there's
It
also
was
like
so-
a needle stuck in there.
And how was it like? What was that doing to him, and why was he okay?
I think they were. I think it was maybe
That's another kind of
slowly-
IV.
I think it was like some kind of IV or something to keep him there. Like maybe it was slowly like putting. I don't know. It looked painful, so they just threw it in. It looked painful.
But the idea of the serum was to bring back dead people.
Yeah.
Right,
That
but
was the
since-
whole concept.
yeah.
The Nazis were trying to create
Army of
an
the
army
undead.
of
But
the
I mean,
undead.
The Reich has to last
It's
1,000
it's a lab, so I feel like they just are trying different areas or different methods
Yeah.
of.
yeah,
Like I
I'm
said,
good with
it's
it.
painful. If you were to walk in and you saw someone,
was a
just-
house of horrors,
Hey,
let's face it.
Creature Factory. Yeah. If
It
you
really
walked,
was.
if you walked in, Dan, and just saw someone, just like if you end
Mike.
up in this place and I'm sitting
that?
there and I'm just sitting there on a chair with an IV, I'm like, "Hey, Dan," and you'll be like, "Hey, well, let me just take this out of you. Let's go."
Some orange slices.
I will admit though, having
Jello.
spent so much time talking about should they have told us about this or not told us about it in the trailer, I will say that scene where he goes through that whole lab, that was really cool. I mean, I went, oh wow, this is not what I was expecting. I didn't know what zombies meant. I didn't know if they were just roaming around this town attacking people, but no, it's like, oh, this is so weird.
What we missed though was that he saw a bunch of rooms with like some things in there. We
Right.
got a glimpse of one creature, but I'll say this now. I don't like that they teased us with that and then don't really go back to it.
They did.
They go back
They did
to
it.
it.
Compared to like the two main guys that got injected, I feel like I wanted more of the creatures
Injection?
or whatever. Yeah, that they got injected.
Yeah,
I
I got
agree
it.
with you. I don't think that the zombie world that like
Yeah.
are in those like cells and everything they did for the one,
Right.
but yeah, I agree.
No,
that,
because-
that didn't like become the army of.
That they wanted. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, to me, like, with like the journal at the end and stuff, it's like all it seemed to me is like when he injects himself with the virus, I'm like, oh, we're just getting like a Resident Evil boss now. That's
It did give me Resident Evil
that's
vibes.
all it seemed like. It was like, oh,
Wait,
I'm not,
when who injects
when
himself?
the sergeant, I mean the
general,
the
the
general
colonel.
from the Nazis.
The colonel,
Corporal.
Ragnar.
walking, hucking,
Yeah, when he
walking,
injects,
off.
when he injects himself, did it not just
Yes,
remind you
exactly.
of Resident Evil, like something like that? I'm like, okay, it's not really.
It's more game Resident
Yeah,
Evil.
it's-
I don't think he has the
Oh,
point
yeah.
I was
reference
gonna say,
for that.
not
but-
the Resident Evil I saw.
But would you get what I mean? And
Oh, we'll get there.
I think it just takes, and I agree, Dan, it just takes the whole like zombie element out. It's just like, it's just like a sci-fi creature.
Yeah, which they really,
Bioweapon.
I mean, they were zombies because they were undead, but
They weren't eating people.
that part,
Well-
yeah, that was. Well, they weren't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They really weren't.
This was very specifically
got-
the undead part of the
Yeah.
zombie.
Yeah, and we
not
got
the-
very little depth from that part of it anyway.
And there
Yeah.
was
It was
no,
really became very highly focused on the colonel or the general, whatever, injecting himself and becoming this sort of super, crazy ass guy.
To be fair, zombies aren't specifically flesh eating,
I agree.
especially the voodoo
That's
type
more
of zombie.
Romero.
Are we
That's
talking
the
about
Romero
the real
zombie.
zombies or the ones in the movies?
Yeah, well, I mean the ones in the movies, but also like the basic concept of a zombie. Romero's the one that
brought
popularized
in
the
the flesh,
flesh-eating
yeah.
stuff. So, I mean, it's still technically zombie, but it's not,
Romero
pop
zombies.
culture zombie. Yeah.
Can someone talk about when they went back to the house?
Oh, okay.
They had drinks and they had a fun
I
time.
actually really like
Credits
this.
roll.
So they
They
go
had
back.
apple teenies.
They go back to the house, and
Undead
Boyce
apple
is like, I just saw things, and they were tearing people. And they're like, Boyce, come down. He's like, I saw freaky things. And then he's all freaked out, and
I wish
he's
they
like,
had a camera on
and
him.
they're like, I don't believe you. Come down. And he goes, then why do I have this? And he pulls out the
Frank
serum.
needs to put a GoPro on his forehead just so
Do
that
that I saw things thing again. Just can I say it again? I saw things. Can you do that again?
So he's like, "Oh, I saw things. It's pretty freaky in there." And then, so Boyce pulls out the shot, and then I actually like this part. So basically, what happens is they have to now, I think, they have to move now. The Nazi soldier, the general, they got to move him for some reason.
They're
so
being
they
foreclosed.
foreclosed. So they tell it's gonna become a spirit
Agreed.
Halloween. Yeah, I know. So they tell Chase.
stop distracting him.
Sorry.
They
I'm so sorry.
was it Chase that they tell to go upstairs and move
The
him?
photographer,
The
yeah.
photographer. So like go upstairs and move him. So he's playing dead, and Chase ends up getting shot.
Oh no.
And you're like, oh no, the pretty boy's
My
dead.
favorite character. He
Yeah.
was actually kind of a pretty boy.
He was, yeah.
Yes.
So
And
he.
so Boyce decides, hey, I've
I'm gonna
got this
inject them with the
serum thing. I don't know what it really does.
Let's see
but
what
I'm
it
gonna
does.
Just throw it inside this guy's chest and
What's
bring him
this
back
do?
to life.
No, but here's the thing though. I really liked that we got the reveal with like someone on their team. 'Cause
Oh,
they're
I
like,
agree.
oh, are you okay? It's like, I'm alive. It's like, I'm just thirsty. So they give him water, and it's like,
Very
hey, I'm able to
hungry.
stand up. He's running around, but then all of a sudden he's like, let me stretch, and he flips his neck back. And
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my favorite part. And
That scene is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, and
'Cause
then
like his neck kind of sunk
No,
in.
that
so
was
his,
crazy.
the bone-
So his bones popped out, and then veins like
yeah, just a slow
Some good
reveal,
old body
just
horror.
a slow reveal that something's not right, because even then when he gets to the canteen before he flips his,
Yeah.
he crushes it, and they're like, and even like everyone's like, okay, something's. Wyatt kind of reaches for his gun. He's like, something's not right, and
Yeah.
then we get the head flip back, and then he's like, why did you? And then Chase is like, why did you do this to me? He starts attacking Boyce, and then Wyatt shoots him up with his gun.
And then they beat the crap out of his head till it's not even there anymore.
Yeah, Boyce can't kill a mouse, but he can destroy this guy's head.
It's called character growth.
Oh. But speaking of like
Growth.
the head being destroyed, what did you think of that? This film, it had blood splatter on the lens.
I know you don't like that.
I'm not a fan of
I
that.
liked it in this one though, but typically because it was just like the corners of the frame. It wasn't.
I don't remember what part
I'm
was
not a
that.
fan.
That's the thing. They used it very sparingly. It wasn't.
I'm not a fan of it either.
Not a fan.
I was
For
alright with it.
for obvious reasons.
What's the obvious reason?
Why now you're just showing me there's a camera in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but because
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're taking me
Because-
out of it being
well,
like
'cause
Right.
they-
Because
they-
now we're a character.
yeah, now
they
we're
did
I am a
something
character.
I've
Thank you.
never seen either. They did something I've never seen. It's before the blood splatters too. They did that, but they also had when they had the bag over his head. When he threw the bag off, it looks like the bag hit the camera and wraps around the camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Where
that's
was
true.
I during this part?
No,
I
I
don't
remember that.
That's
That
not
was
bad.
weird. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't like that either. I don't like. I don't
I-
like the camera participating in the scene, meaning where we're hitting the lens, like where we're
The fourth wall,
It
yeah.
becomes like, oh, well, hang on, now you're.
I
the
agree.
camera's in
Cameras
the
should
room.
be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
I was
It's
fine.
a documentary, actually. This
Silence
movie.
your phone, Dan. I was fine with it. Usually, I was fine with it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
You know why I think it works for me too in this movie? It's because this movie has a lot of video game aesthetics to it, and so it kind of fits
I agree.
with that stylization.
Yeah.
Well, and I agree too. I think it probably didn't bother us much too because there was some actual like substance to the movie. Because Sam, there's some. I promise you, this is gonna be the last time we bring it
I
up.
won't go that far.
Because in the trailer, every shot in the trailer had blood splatter in it. Which is why I don't like it, which is why I didn't want to see. But I feel like it was used sparingly. And what I liked too is I liked, even though all the blood was CGI in this movie, I kind of liked when they get shot up. You'd see some of the blood like.
Damn, that's rude. That's violent. You like when they get shot up?
I'm just saying it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't look. It wasn't over the top. Is what I'm trying to say.
So
Yeah.
the Colonel / General Hoffenhoffenhoff he steals little Paul, the little brother,
Little creepy boy.
and gets
He
away.
does look creepy.
He was a little creepy, I thought. I needed him to be a little cuter than he was.
But he
No,
has
I
a
was fine with the
baseball
amount of
because all Americans like baseball.
He looked like the little brother from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh,
Yes.
do we?
Yes, he did.
And which is also kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Also,
So
true.
he kidnaps him, which launches us into Act 3. So now we're gonna like plan an attack on the church, and this is how we're gonna do it. There's a lot of details and stuff I really don't care about.
But they shouldn't go into the church because it's distracting from the mission. They just got to go to the tower, and Wyatt has this whole, it'll bring our survival chances to 0. And Boyce is like, I don't care. We got to go rescue the boy. Let's go. So
dun dun.
then they go.
Dun, dun, dun,
They
dun.
go there, and that's the end of the movie. No, they walk
No,
over.
they decide
get-
not to go because
Yeah.
they're like,
No,
that boy's too
no,
creepy.
no,
This is
they
gonna be
say-
really hard to do.
He's not cute
They
enough.
say let's go. They get there and they get shot right away and die, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Fair.
They get there and go, wow, there's a lot of Nazis here. What do you say we go back to Normandy?
And then it
Nothing
shows.
going on that beach.
And then it shows Hank injecting himself, right?
Twice.
Twice.
You mean Colonel Haken?
And he says,
Chuck.
and then the stereotypical German scientist with the glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Baldy goes, no.
Dr. Mengele.
Yeah, he goes, you shouldn't do that. We haven't tested that on live people yet. It's still unstable. And he goes, eh.
Yeah, that's a great line just to inform us as an audience that,
Back
oh,
to
wow, they haven't
formula.
done this on live people. This might not work out real well.
But
Is that a horror trope you're talking about?
It could be.
but
But also, his transformation wasn't as creepy, even though he missed half of his face because he got shot in the face.
Which looked really cool.
not only
and
that,
also spoiled in the trailer.
Oh, was
yeah.
it?
do you think that was
Yes.
practical, or do you think that
That was
all
full
That was
CGI.
so CGI.
that was very CG.
Very
could have been
CGI.
practical.
Yeah.
Sam,
You know what? It couldn't be.
It could have been, but they didn't.
And the thing is, the formula kind of worked because he was still himself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he didn't go crazy. He didn't transform. It was like, okay, so like he didn't
He just got stronger.
get deformed. He was just like, no,
It
I'm
was
strong
already deformed.
anymore.
But is that because he was alive?
That's what I'm saying.
Versus being a dead
That's
guy
what I'm
who
saying.
got
So
it.
we're like, oh no, so that's what I'm saying. It's like him being alive. It's like, okay, now we know the formula works on like people that are alive.
True.
Now, I thought the I'm trying to remember, how did they get the guy on the motorcycle thing with the hand grenade? That was such a cool moment. I loved that so, but I'm trying to back me up to that
I
moment.
missed that too. All I know is he was. Oh, they ask her if she has a car, and she goes, "Yeah, I got something in the garage." And they go, "Okay, because you're not getting it back." And then that's how I think they do it.
No, but who's the German guy that they got?
Just a
I think it
soldier.
was one of the soldiers that was outside the house.
Okay.
Because they just needed to distract.
That was so cool when they. I have plenty of these, by the way. We're talking
Thank
about
you.
peanuts in case no one can see. I thought that was a really cool scene.
I wish this movie had done more.
Where they strapped him up, they had the hand grenade in his mouth with the pin. They pull the tape up, pulls the pin.
Should have done a montage of that.
that was
That'd
a
been really cool.
very cool moment.
I wanted more gore, like
Yeah,
practical
it's,
gore
it's pretty
Not
gory,
Al
but
Gore?
not enough.
When? Like the whole movie? Or
throughout the whole movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we were missing out.
But it was cool.
Isn't
That
that funny? Because I felt it was just the right amount of gore.
I like how we had the double explosion. Like we had him blow up, and then it's
That's
like
probably
you
me
see-
versus you.
You see him blow up. It's like Uncle Hood's dead, and then you see the truck blow up. Then you see all the bodies explode. It was cool.
I like that part.
I wanted more. Is what I'm saying.
Should have been real.
Yeah.
So we launch into this big battle, Act 3 battle scene. Our main characters, Ford and Boyce, get inside.
Chloe kills a bunch of Germans too.
Yeah,
She's such a badass.
looking for
Yeah,
her,
actually, yeah.
looking for her brother.
And what's Chase in Tibet doing while this is going?
Tibet.
Yeah.
I think he's referring to Tibet, but he's been saying Tibet, and I haven't corrected him.
Correct me.
That is a freaking country.
I was kidding. Jeez. Finally, Frank, you brought that up.
As Travis rolls his eyes.
But here's the thing, though. They
Are we
They.
enjoying these peanuts, by the way?
Tibet?
and
7
Chase.
years in Tibet?
No.
That's
So,
a really long time. I don't know if he can handle that.
Walker. No, I called him Walker. John Walker. I was thinking Falcon the Winter Soldier. So Wyatt says we can't go. Ford says.
My God.
Ford says we can't go into the church because it's too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
There's maybe like 3 people in there. as Chase and Tibbet take out half the German army. Like when they're running, I'm like, dude, that's cool. Like they have like the heavy machine gun.
Yeah.
They're running through the. I'm like, well, these guys are doing all the work here. They're taking out half of Germany right now. But go on.
It's funny how the impossible plan actually just kind of worked.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah, that part of the plan
No
worked pretty
security.
easily.
No security
Now,
in there.
it was cool, though. She got in there. She found Paul. But then they opened the door of that cell. And you saw that deformed body on the ground. And then
It's pretty cool.
she runs away, and then the soldier gets dragged in there. And then that guy gets out, that sort of undead dude.
It took an hour and 22 minutes for us to see the creature or what they were working on. Just saying. An hour and 22.
No, and I agree.
The
Like,
movie's an hour and 40.
and that's why I agree, Sam. I feel like I would like to have seen some more creatures versus just like, oh, it's like. I know if you don't play the games, it's just like, oh, it's just a Resident Evil monster. Like at the end, it's like I want to see.
They look cool.
They did.
I think the movie was way more World War II than it was
Yeah.
zombie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt the zombie thing was kind of not an afterthought.
Tacked on.
It was definitely sort of a secondary part
Yeah.
of the plot. Because most of the plot was very World War II movie.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't see the trailer because, sorry, really quick. Because it was very.
Really?
No, I'm glad he didn't. What the
The
hell?
trailer?
Give
Talking
me
about the trailer?
Can you wait?
Are you talking about the trailer?
Choke on a peanut.
Are you talking about the trailer?
Choke on a peanut.
Are you talking about the trailer?
Choke on a
Are you
peanut.
talking about the trailer?
Choke on the
Are we
fucking
talking about the
peanut.
trailer?
I will shove a peanut in your fucking throat.
What's going on with Travis? That haircut.
I think now because I'm clear now. Like my
I was
head
gonna
can
say,
breathe.
you can hear now. You've got
No, his head is
your
lighter
brain's
now.
been
Moxie.
freed.
What I was trying to say before you interrupted me, you
About the trailer.
dick,
My name's Richard. Thank you very much.
was that I'm glad you didn't see it because it was very front loaded with zombies.
Yes.
So going in, I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of zombies, and then an hour 22 minutes in, that's when you see something. So it's kind of like, I wish there were more.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
slow burn with the zombies for sure.
And that goes down with what you're saying is it marketing it one way, so you're thinking it's something else, versus you're watching the movie and it naturally
No,
progressing
you
into
said it
something
like 5
else.
times. I got it.
Okay.
You know what I think would have helped there, and it's going back to your thing about the whole Resident Evil aspect, is they could have taken another page from Resident Evil. You know, the zombies are just the beginning
The
stages
zombie
of
dogs.
mutations. There's also different ways that the virus mutates things. They could have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, different stages leading up to that.
Because
Around town, it would have been interesting.
And
I think.
we didn't mention. I think one of my favorite reveals in the movie is when Boyce first sees like the creatures. Is when he hears someone singing and someone saying help, and he runs over to the person, and it's just a head. Like that's it.
That was cool.
That was really
Wait, didn't
cool.
wasn't that what we talked about? It was the girl, right? The woman. Her.
Well, I said, but we didn't say. I'm researching, but I'm saying we didn't talk about the lead up, like
Oh,
how
gotcha,
because we
gotcha,
just
gotcha,
said you
gotcha.
see
Yeah, right,
someone,
right.
and I'm saying I thought the lead up to her.
Okay.
But I agree, which we could have then, like Frank said, shown. Okay, this is the first stage and had natural progression, because
Thank you.
of like these creatures evolving or having different ones. Because obviously you can tell that they've been working on this formula for a while. So it's like, so why do they all look the same? It's just some surgically look a little different, but there's no indication of. I don't know. I think we're just digging too far into it.
No, I agree with you agreeing with me agreeing with you.
I know that you know that I know.
They save a lot of that, the actual details of the experimentation to the very, very end. So, and they don't really play with the mystery of what's going on in the church that much.
No.
You know, they could have played with it a lot earlier. Even in the debriefing, not the debriefing, but the whole like, hey, we're going to do this radio tower stuff. Like they could have started it there versus.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You know what? You need to mind your fucking business.
Okay.
But yeah, I will say that just going back to the opening, that opening is great.
Oh, yeah.
Are we starting over?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank God they did that.
Rewind the
because
VHS tape.
after that, it kind of like slows down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be as invested.
So now they're fighting.
I agree with you about the opening, but I don't. I was not. I was fine. I hung with it.
So they're
I
now.
was definitely interested in what was going on.
Yeah.
They're now in the creature factory, and they're setting the explosives, and they have timer because they say 8. They're going to be
You
here.
gotta have that, man.
Yeah, well, that's
That's
the whole
the
movie.
James Bond aspect.
Well, even the whole movie, and that's what I
Because
like.
you have to have that element of time. Like
Well,
this is
Limited
someone-
time, yeah.
Right.
The whole movie is, remember, we got 6 hours, we got 4 hours, but
Right.
this is now,
6
they're-
minutes.
Yeah, I think they say 20 minutes, so they're gonna set the
too long.
timers. They're gonna set the timers for 18 minutes. So, and Wyatt, I mean, Ford is very much like, who's ever in here is dying. Like, we got to be out of here. So as soon as Boyce leaves, we see
That's coming
Ford.
back.
Ford puts in the timer, and then someone comes from behind him.
Sorry. I
And-
looked over. Like,
Yeah, there's someone behind you. And it's the Nazi. And it's the Nazi.
The
and
Nazi.
It's
The
like,
Nazi?
Damn Nazis.
I'm so glad I ran into you again. And they have they're fighting each other.
They hug and
superhero
kiss.
fight. Oh.
He gets, Ford gets
It's a-
put,
it-
Ford gets
It
put
has
on a hook, on a meat hook.
has a very comic book fight
Yeah.
sequence to it.
Iron Man
Yeah.
and
For
Captain
Sure.
America.
Has very much that.
And it's not even that. It's very much video game, like B horror movie. Like the movies that I watch that you all make fun of me.
Boss
this
fight.
is like, yeah,
The boss level?
There's gonna be quick time events.
Yeah.
You're getting on the hook.
Yeah.
Press A, tap A, tap A, keep tapping. I don't know why I'm doing that. No,
Yeah.
no one can see.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
weird.
we can hear it.
What was it? Was it the first Wonder Woman movie where they had like the super Nazis? What is?
Yeah, that
what
was
is
the
Yes,
first-
that was also.
where they're doing a super Nazi race. And
Nazi.
it is right.
Kinda, yeah.
Sort of. It's like, well, there's the one like Nazi with like, she has like the mask on, the plastic face mask.
But they're working on some sort of super race.
It's like a
of,
gas or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, that's probably Captain America.
Oh, okay.
The red,
I
what's it
don't know.
called?
I remember
The
there
Red
was
Skull.
there was some sort of like movie,
Yeah.
some comic book movie where they were
Super
doing a
Nazi.
super Nazis.
Yeah.
So okay. So we have the big Ford and Hakenbach are fighting. And
Hassenpfeffer, yes.
he puts him on a big meat hook, which
Oh, yeah.
just happens to be there in the middle of the room.
I love meat hooks.
And then
Movies.
he and Boyce have a little fight that goes on, and Ford unhooks himself, and he's dying, so he grabs a syringe and puts himself.
He says, "No, I'm the main character."
Injects
Yeah,
himself
I'm the main
with the
character.
serum, and then he becomes okay. I'm okay now. And then my favorite line in the entire movie.
Well, you got to
happens.
set it up though. So
You set it up, and then I'll read it.
So
because
when-
you know what I'm talking about.
So what happens is when they first capture Hank the Nazi, when they first capture him, they find
No, Hakenbach.
I thought his name was Bob.
when they first
Better known as Bob.
No, when they first capture Wiener Schnitzel.
Der Wiener Schnitzel.
When they first capture him,
Isn't it funny how we can like Nazis have that they have no like their lobby is so weak. We can make fun of Nazis and like
I don't care about him at all. So go.
Their lobby
nobody's
is
really
so
gonna go. Nobody's like gonna go. How dare you say bad things about Nazis? Nazis.
So
And yet you'll still have people that say that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will. I hope we do.
Oh, I hope we don't.
Dan
So-
lives at 1234.
Smiley Lane. So what happens is when they first capture Hank the zombie,
don't
Hank
know the name anymore.
Nazi
Heinrich.
Heinrich, yeah, when they first capture him, they find Ford has he finds a golden lighter in his pocket, and he goes, "Oh, where'd you get this from? From reaching your execution quota?" And he holds on to the lighter. So now what happens?
No, you didn't say the line.
I don't think that's the
Oh,
line.
no, we're not. Well, we're not.
That's not the line.
I don't
I'm
remember the
talking
line,
about.
but I know what you're
Oh,
talking
I
about.
thought.
Are you
Or
sure?
I'm not done or something like that. Wasn't it?
No.
That's. See, I was thinking no. It's because he pulls out the lighter.
No, because the Hank was tied up, and then they were beating him, and then he said something. I forgot. He came behind him and right that part.
Are you talking
What are
about
you
the part
talking
right
about?
before he gets blown up?
Just do it, Dan.
Yeah,
go
say
ahead.
what you're gonna say.
It's when it's after Ford injects himself, and then they start engaging again.
Oh, I know the line.
And Hoffenhofen says, "How does it feel having the blood of eternity flowing through your veins?"
Oh.
And Wyatt says, "Not so fucking great."
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were.
I love that.
No,
line.
that's a good-
I laughed. I was like, me and two other people in the theater. I laughed out loud because there
You
was
LOL'd?
That is such a great comeback. Not so fucking great.
I thought you were talking about the line when you pulled out the lighter again, then they get like blown up.
No, that's a great line too. That's more the
Your Leon Kennedy event.
yeah. That's more the classic. Before the bad guy gets destroyed.
That's a one-liner. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I thought
I
that's what you
love
were-
that exchange with Hoffen,
So-
and Ford.
So they blow up.
Well, before that happens, Ford goes to Boyce and says, "Hey, get out of here. I'm already dead."
Yeah, he locks the gate. So
locks
we
the
can't
You
gate.
get
guys missed that one part because before they got in a fight, Hank was telling everybody, "I'm building an army" or something like that, and then he pulled out all of the corpses.
Oh yeah,
But they were gonna
all the
cremate.
corpses come out. I don't know. Suddenly,
I'm
all the
dizzy.
zombies come to life.
right.
Oh my! But yeah,
Yes.
continue.
Like I said, it's
That-
very
that
end
was
of the
cool.
video game.
Yeah.
That was very cool. And
So they get all blown up.
he gets out. The whole place blows up.
Well, before that though, you get the Terminator 2. There's one more chip.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm leaving. Or the Armageddon with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck at the end is like, no, don't go. It's like, I got it, man. I'm dead. So,
I thought I already did that.
no, you didn't.
But also, remember how I said that he was goody two shoes? That part also annoyed me. When he was like, when the gate closed, and he's like, no! It's like, the gate's closed, my guy. He already made his choice.
We gotta
so
leave
still-
together. It's like, so you want him to come out and experiment?
Yeah,
Like,
now you're cool with him? You guys were fighting before.
Yeah.
Plus, he's effed up, man. He injected himself with
Yeah.
that serum.
That's what I'm saying.
His
They're,
eyes were bleeding. He's not gonna make it.
they're gonna, yeah. And then if they do, it's like you're letting the formula get out.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna put experiments on him.
Okay, so he gets out. The entire place blows up. Everything's completed. He shows up. You got the French girl, the couple of soldiers that were still alive. He shows up. We're all together again. Roll credits. No.
What?
We have another scene after
No,
that.
there's not.
Yes, there
Yes,
is.
there is.
Oh,
Yes,
I turned
there
it
is.
off.
I
He
missed
goes
that.
to he's being debriefed by the whatever colonel or whatever of the asking him about what happened and what happened in there and
Oh,
blah
that's
blah
that's
blah.
before the
That's
credits.
before the credits.
Well,
yeah.
that's before the credits.
I know that's before the
Oh.
credits.
Oh,
I'm
I
saying,
thought you
I'm
said-
saying that
saying-
should have been where the credits started
Gotcha,
rolling.
gotcha,
when he
gotcha.
shows up at the end, it should have been the end of the movie.
Yeah,
but they
'cause-
add really scene, which I don't really
show
understand
that
why
everyone's
they
alive.
did that.
There's no
But
point.
We already knew they were alive.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I agree. That's it. He
But
should
there
have
was
just
nothing
walked.
explained.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, nothing happened down there. We just blew up the place."
Right.
It was like
Like,
it was
why
it
are
was
you
an
lying?
unimportant tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I meant was that should have been where the credits
Gotcha.
start rolling.
Oh.
Where he shows up walking up to them. That should have been the end of the
Because you
movie.
said credits roll and then one more scene.
Well, I'm
so
saying
like,
that I meant credits
credits
roll.
should have rolled, but there's one more scene. And then we got the whole too, like, oh, the gang's all back. Like, so we had Tibbet like didn't like the kid, but now they're best friends because he took a
You
bullet
mean
for
Tibet?
I don't know. Tibet's a country, so
I was really hoping he wasn't gonna die when he was trying to save the kid.
I know.
I was like, oh, don't die. And he didn't.
And
Did you ever watch Past Lives?
Oh, you're talking about
No.
the Italian sort of soldier
Tibet.
guy, right?
Tibbet.
Tibet.
Tibet?
Tibet. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't die too. I agree.
Yeah. So then
I like that actor. He's
and
cool.
then we get to the one
Same.
part that I just really didn't like about the movie. So you have this whole like aesthetic that's like, you know, World War II, credits roll, and you have this rap song.
Was there a rap song?
Or
Okay,
like
I don't remember.
I did not like the closing song,
That's
but
what
I
I'm saying.
did like the closing
the
credits.
credits are cool. I just
I
didn't
thought
like
the credits
song.
were really cool, but why aren't we doing like stick to the period, man? You don't need to suddenly do some rap song.
They
Made
could've-
no sense.
They could have just had like, or even just have the score playing.
Yeah, just the theme, whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Guys, it's hardcore and ended. So like, bam,
So they
rap.
It's a rap.
yes. They should have
Sure.
done what they did in Venom and ended with an Eminem song.
Oh
It was it was actually supposed to be Eminem, but then that didn't happen, so it's Macklemore.
thrift shop.
We got Nazis and zombies.
That's what they should have done.
It's literally like the demo that Dan sent in.
Yeah.
That's why Dan loves this movie.
Final thoughts.
That's it. That's Overlord.
Overlord. Final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Sam.
I wish again they had more of the zombie aspect. Also because like I said, I'm not a big fan of history in general and the war movies, so I feel like yes, they did a lot more of that. But I did like the action. I think it's a fun movie. If I gave it a couple more years, I think I would rewatch it because this is my second time rewatching it, and I overall I did enjoy it, but again, spent a little too much in the beginning. But yeah, I'm gonna give it 3 human sacks out of 5.
Human sacks?
Yeah, do you remember it when he was walking through the church and then there were like sacks of human?
And he cut one open, and then the guy came out. It's like, kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, when did he go to a regular church?
No, it wasn't in
you
the church.
missed
It was
it.
in the creature factory.
He was kidding.
Oh.
God. The man with the jokes. It's the hair.
Knock, knock, knock.
Nice. I think that's a fair score.
Thank you.
Frank?
I'll go next. I really enjoyed this movie. I remember loving it a lot more when I saw it first in theaters, but I think over time I haven't really revisited it as much. And like I mentioned before, now watching it with more of a critical eye, there's things that I kind of hand waved away first when watching it that now when I see I'm like, oh, I guess this works. It doesn't really work for me, but it works okay. I think it's a little too long. At 1:49, I think it is.
149.
Probably all right to cut maybe 10, 15 minutes. I do like the opening, the ending. I like the way it looks too. It's shot really well. It's got a very nice aesthetic to it that I think makes it, gives it that extra bit of something interesting. Because there's not that much depth here. Let's be honest. Having said that, I do like a lot of the individual aspects of it. I just think as a whole, they're not as interesting as they could be. So, with that being said, I'm going to give this movie 3.5 nosy neighbors out of 5.
I love your nosy neighbors.
Yeah.
Is that the lady that lives across the street from you?
Yes.
Do you have a nosy neighbor?
I did actually. You know what? She broke
she doesn't
her
live
hip,
there anymore?
So
Oh,
she
no.
hasn't
Broke
been.
her hip,
It's not funny.
so she can't be nosy anymore.
She's less nosy now. More
She's
hippie.
No, now she's
More
like
hippie.
in Rear Window.
Oh God.
or bewitched.
I don't.
Abner.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Abner.
So yeah, that's my
Nice.
score. I'm
I-
sticking to it.
I will let Travis go last.
I'll let Dan go.
I'm
Oh,
going to go next.
reverse order.
I do not disagree with either one of you. I just really had a great time. I really love watching this movie. I think it's so much fun. I think the World War II aspect of it really keeps me engaged because I love World War II movies, and I thought it covered all those tropes really well. I think the zombie aspect of it is a little bit of a slow burn, and probably you're right, Sam. It probably could have used more of that, especially once he discovers it. I think at that point, once we know it's happening, we probably should have launched into it a lot more aggressively for the rest of the movie, and it didn't. So that's probably one of its shortcomings. But I was never bored. I saw it in the theater. I was never bored. I watched it again a couple of days ago. I was never bored. I just thoroughly enjoy myself when I watch this movie. I think there's enough stuff in it, and enough like really cool things happening that keep me involved and having fun with it. So I'm not gonna be too hard on it. I think it could have definitely been better, and I think it was probably a little long for what it was because it's not a very deep movie. But, and I don't know if I'll revisit it again at any time soon, but I do really enjoy watching it. I thought the casting was really good. I thought, although I agree, I think the more interesting character was not the main character, and probably that's also a flaw. But again, maybe a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it a 3.7 Nazi zombies out of 5.
Nice. That's pretty high for. I don't think. What's the highest you've rated?
Oh, I've gotten into the 4s.
Yeah.
Have you?
Actually, didn't you also give
Battle Royale was
Battle
a high
Royale
one.
5?
I think I gave it almost
4.5. I think
4.5 maybe. I don't know if I've ever gone all the way to 5. I might have gone to a 5.
I don't remember what episode it was now, but we've done everybody gave it a 5 episode.
Was it Everything Everywhere?
Might have
Oh
been.
yes,
Might have
actually I
been.
think it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a fun movie. I really enjoyed it.
So Travis already just wrap up. So Dan, go right ahead. Wrap it up.
No, you. Yeah, you already said how much you liked it at the
No.
very beginning.
Yeah,
but no,
okay.
give us your
Well, it's because
final
it's-
thoughts.
it's
I'm
be-
sure they're great.
It's because from the very beginning, like I said, I didn't want to see this. But no, I think I agree with everything everyone's saying. It's a very fun movie.
Yes.
I think what it's trying to do, it does very well. This movie's not trying to be super deep. It doesn't have to be super deep. You know, I think, hey, what it sets out to do, I think it gets right. It's like, you know, I do like movies. You know, I kind of compared it a little bit to from Dusk Till Dawn. I kind of like sometimes when you get that mid, you know, you
Plot
get
twist.
you get the plot twist in the middle. That works with the movie. It's not completely out of left field. I think it works. This movie too, I like Wyatt Russell a lot. I'd only seen him in 22 Jump Street.
Oh, he was in that.
Before this, he was the.
This is the only thing I've
Yeah,
ever
he
seen him in.
He
Yeah.
was.
He was Captain America.
Don't say that.
He
And
was.
what?
He's
In
Captain
the-
John Walker
Oh my god! In the TV show.
and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No.
It's inconsequential, Tim.
So Wyatt Russell. I mean, watching this movie, and like I said, it takes. I think like it blends the genres well. You get World War II, obviously. You get B movie. You get action movie, zombie. From seeing this and Wyatt Russell's performance, I think he channels Kurt Russell very well. I think it reminds me of like, okay, I'm watching like maybe The Thing, some early 80s John Carpenter movies.
We got a little bit of Escape from New York kind of
that,
character.
and that's what I was getting
For
to.
sure.
Was seeing this movie, Escape from New York is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, great movie.
And it's a movie that never needs to be remade. But I figure, hey, if they do, I mean, it's bound to happen. They're gonna remake it. I think, I don't know if it's nepotism. Throw Wyatt Russell in there. Have him. I think, he has like the same jawline.
Okay, we're getting a little too.
No, I was gonna get into something else because I was gonna say.
How much do you love
he?
Wyatt
Yeah.
Russell?
No. Because I was gonna say because what they're doing now, how they're having him and his dad in Godzilla, how he's playing a younger version of him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait,
They're doing
what Godzilla?
Apple
And
TV.
why?
Apple TV is doing a series that's based around the newer Godzilla movies,
Monarch.
where it follows the organization that tracks these monsters, and
Takes place in 2 timelines.
takes place in 2 timelines, and it's
Oh,
got
wow.
Kurt Russell as I guess he's
present
like
in the present.
he's the director of this organization, or he's heavily involved in it, and it looks really good actually. Looks very good. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so-
it'll probably be airing by the time this episode
Yeah,
goes
so
up.
in the present, it's Kurt Russell, and then in the flashbacks, it's Wyatt Russell, and they're the same character. But sorry, I got sidetracked like I always do. No, like I said, I really, if I continue, I'm just going to start saying points that you all said, because I agree. I mean, just sum it up, like, it maybe, I think the reason seeing it now a second time, I don't think I liked it as much as the first time, but I think the reason why I loved it so much the first time was because I was just taken by surprise. So seeing it this time, I was like, there was a couple of moments where I looked at my phone. It was a little slow, but no, I think it's fun. Like I said, it sets out what it wants to do. It knows the exact movie it's trying to be. And with that, I'm going to give it
17 out of 5.
No, I'm actually higher than everyone else. I was like, all right, yeah. I'm gonna give it
5 out
3.8.
of
and like I
5.
said, there's a couple things. Like I said, the song at the end I didn't like. I
Yes.
feel like it could have moved a little
Venom.
quicker.
Venom.
I'm gonna give it 4.5.
Oh,
Oh
my
wow.
god!
What?
Okay.
I don't know. I just like I said,
Hey, I don't.
Hey,
I don't
4.5 what?
I'm not going to argue with you.
Hey,
I'm impressed.
I'm gonna
actually.
say something to you. Have any of you seen the movie Highlander?
No.
Yes.
You've seen it, right?
Yes.
Is it good?
No.
Not really, but you kind of love it.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
takes
but that's kind of like Chopping Mall for you.
no, because there's other reasons behind that.
No, this
But
movie is
what-
way better.
What
than
was
Chopping.
the
Yeah.
item?
What's your item?
Oh,
4.5
that's what I'm gonna
what's?
give it. I'm gonna give it 4.5 lighters.
Oh,
I like it.
Okay.
Good.
I still don't understand that scoring, but okay.
It's the funny thing is, it's my score, not yours.
And I didn't say that I had a problem with it. I was
You said you don't
questioning
understand.
it.
The
That's why you
smug
don't.
smile on his face when he told you
Yeah,
that
because
was
he knows
priceless.
that I'm not giving him a lift home because I could
I have
have.
my own car.
I'm
If you listened, I said,
Oh, I would have never said that.
Hey, hang on. I'm impressed
And he
with your
admits
score
it.
because I thought my score was a little low for how I felt about the movie. Like I could have gone higher, but
like, can you take me higher?
no. But I also kind of scored it based on intellectually. I thought, this is it's a fun movie. It's not a great movie, but you gave it a score that I don't disagree with you. In other words, I don't think it's a 4.5, but I totally get why you would give it
Because
one.
it's.
I totally get
I
it.
think what it does, it's not trying to,
It is exactly what it's trying to be.
Exactly. It nails it perfectly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
almost perfectly.
I don't know if it's fair. And this is not against anything that you said, but I don't know if it's fair to say, well, watching it again, I didn't like it as much. I don't know that movies need to be watched over and over again and then be judged. I mean, if you had a great time the first time and never watch it
That's
again,
all it-
you should be able to go, I had a great time. I don't
that's
think
why-
you need to watch it 2-3 more times and go, it's not as good
And
as
that's
I
why I
thought
did it
it
a
was.
little higher too. And that's why I
Yeah.
said I was like, well, I didn't know. I mean, I still enjoyed it, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I didn't know if I'd still like it as much the second time because as much as I say I liked it the first time, this was only my second time ever watching it.
Yeah,
Last
me
time I
too.
saw it was 5 years ago, and
Me
I always
too.
said, oh, it's a great movie, and I never rewatched it until now.
Right.
So thank you, Dan, because you've been wanting to do this movie for a long time.
I have.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we did. What movie are we doing next week?
Oh,
Frank?
It's a doozy.
Oh, it's a doozy.
It's a classic. We're watching The First Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
is that with Kevin Bacon?
Okay.
No,
No.
that's Friday the 13th.
So Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny
Yes.
Depp.
Okay. Well, we've been putting that
Frederick
off as long
Krueger.
as humanly possible. I guess we have to dive into it now.
I cannot wait for you to watch this movie.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I've never
it's a
seen it.
doozy.
It's a whopper.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
Well, I'm.
You know what we should do to you? We should do.
I'm not.
should do-
I would be
no.
lying if I said I was excited to see it, but I'm also would be lying if I said I
I'm not.
probably need to see this movie.
So,
Yeah.
so you're gonna
It's
see
required
you-
viewing.
You're gonna see this movie, and then you're gonna see a Friday the 13th movie, and then you're gonna see Freddy vs. Jason.
Yes, that's actually what we're building
We're
up
doing
to.
that to you.
Oh no!
oh my
yeah.
Wait,
God.
I've never seen Freddy vs. Jason. We're doing that.
Oh, are you ready to take a Are you ready to time travel back to 2000?
It's a
the early
time capsule to
it's a
the early
time
2000s
capsule.
I think-
for
I
sure.
will
I
not
think-
see Alien versus Predator. However,
I think
We're not
I'm
doing
busy
that
that
shit.
day.
did you say we're not doing that shit?
Can I just say Freddy vs. Jason had like the greatest fucking trailer ever?
Not only
It
that,
gets me to this day. It's so well done.
not
That's
only
when they
that,
both
I
got
think
out of the water.
no.
Yes. Kind of, but
That
not really.
I still say it is the best theater experience I've ever had. Going opening night, my dad took me to see Freddy vs. Jason
Same.
in theaters. One of the absolute best theater experiences I've ever
How
had.
old were you?
Well, 12.
Okay.
It was the first slasher I saw in theaters.
when my
Oh,
You know what?
son,
It was mine too.
I took my son at 12 to see Bad Santa.
Oh no!
Can you imagine?
Well-
Have I never told that story?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Save it for next
We'll
week.
save it for next week, but it's
And
definitely
then-
worth telling.
And then I'll tell my Borat story.
yeah, I will definitely tell the taking my son at 12 to Bad Santa.
Did you think it was like an animated movie?
I will tell the story
You found
next
out
week.
he was a bad Santa.
Yes, I did.
And more than one, and not just like he did a bad
you
job.
know how you go see? Well, you don't. But as a dad, you see him. When you see things, you hope you don't have to explain things going home.
Oh, jeez.
This movie was loaded with
Oh no!
things you don't want to explain
Alright.
as you're driving home.
But did he ask?
We'll find out next week.
We'll find out next week.
Join us for the continuation of Dan's
Dads versus sons. Bad Santa.
Da-da-da-da-da.
All right. Thank you for listening this week. And next week, we will be watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Please.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say,
Share
please.
us?
No, I'm going to say, please. Thank you for listening to another episode, because we all know you all should be listening to multiple ones of these. Thank you. You can listen
You're
to us.
right.
You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And the thing is, you can even tell your friends, hey, give it a listen. It's one thing for you to say, I listen, but you gotta share it.
You know, Travis, just because you're a white man doesn't mean you can cut Dan off and
Another white man?
Who is also, who is also a white man.
He pointed to me and said, here's your cue, buddy.
Share us. Like us,
follow,
review us,
subscribe,
follow us,
stalk,
subscribe, stalk us,
Don't block
run out in
us.
the middle of the street and scream our names, knock on your neighbor's door and beg them to listen to us,
We will.
because we are Strangers in the Alps, a slasher podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Travis.
Sam.
Frank.
Bye.
And we are
Oh.
This is still really
It's loud.
Is it?
Can you turn us down
Travis,
just a
turn.
No,
just a titty tad?
What?
Titty?